So far, I think this is the best forum that ever existed for us, because before that, we didn't have a forum where we could all come together as court users. And you'd find that everybody's working single-handedly. It's like one hand does not know what the other one is doing. So you'd go like to court, and a lawyer does not know what a probation officer is supposed to do. But after the court users committee came into place, now we started mingling. And we get to talk about our issues openly. They also talk about their issues, and each of us talks about their issues, the issues that pertain to the dispensation of justice for the offenders. And we get to know each other better and better.
As a chief magistrate nowadays experienced in court users committee, I feel that a court cannot function properly without a very strong court users committee.
From continuous meetings in the court users committee, it is easier for us to find out where the problem is and fix it. We may probably not have the resources to do all those things now, but at least when party actors in the justice system coordinate with each other, then the process is very easy.
Access to justice is a collaborative effort bringing together stakeholders in the justice system. Increasing people's participation in good governance and development is therefore an effort to realize this objective. So far, good progress towards the achievement of the objective has been made. This is demonstrated by the increased capacity of non-state actors who influence and monitor justice sector reforms and facilitate improved access to justice for the most vulnerable, marginalized and the poor. This progress is seen through notable increase in the numbers present in the court user committees and the level of discussions and resolutions made during the court user committee sessions. Every court user committees have their own issues to discuss and find solutions. Like in Kitale and West Pokot, the issues range from the court lacking in public relations, sensitivity, and how the magistrate should be involved in the administration of justice. Through the discussion, action has been taken to improve the administration of justice.
You don't have to wait until a CUC forum. In case, if need be, either stakeholder can just walk up to court, knock the door, tell you, hey, people are arrested in several places, they have not been brought to court, they are spending somewhere. Please, when they come, look into the issue of their rights. And when these accused persons come to court, we tell them, this is a lower court, we cannot handle any constitutional reference. Please file your matter in the High Court. And all this has reached the court through the stakeholders. So through the stakeholders, they can reach the court anytime.
From the various discussions, some of the court user committees working with the Legal Resources Foundation saw it necessary to have legal aid desks, that's judicial paralegal desks, in court stations and police stations. Through the judicial paralegal desks, paralegals are able to give free legal aid, advice and assistance of victims, complainants, plaintiff, accused and the defendant. At sessions like this, the inmates are educated on their rights and how to handle themselves at the court. They also inform the paralegal officer of the issues affecting them. The paralegal, who is a member of the court user committees, then shares the issues in the court user committees forum or directly with the concerned arm of the justice system. Many inmates complain of their cases taking too long due to misplaced or simply the prosecution office delaying with their files.
Nilikuwa nimepatiwa location ya mwezi 3, lakini nilikuwa na mention last week 28. Jaji alipokuja hapa faili yangu haikupatikana.
As a foreigner, at times when you ask for bond, it cannot be easy to be giving you bond. They will say that you are a foreigner.
Ukienda kotini au ingi ndani ya koti, ukikaa kufikia saa 8 hivi unarudishwa hapa. Sasa ndio nauliza, kama umekubali kesi, inabidi ukae rumande ama hukumiwe.
Ningependa kujua kwamba kwa nini mtu wa last year alishikwa last year lakini mpaka wa saizi hajawahi funguliwa faili yake.
Through court user committees initiatives, such matters are getting due attention.
So as a result of the discussions which we have in our court users committee, the registry has been able to come up with a database. First of all, a database of all active cases that we do have that are pending.
Nairobi Area Prison is one of the most congested prisons in Kenya. Whereas this problem is acknowledged, the Access to Justice project through Prison Reform Program has had remarkable improvement of the welfare of the inmates.
Since the paralegal came into prison, there has been much change. There has been actually a boost in their knowledge about legal matters, them understanding their rights, and also getting to know about what the law requires of them.
Now that is where the Court Users Committee comes in. Like when I came here in 2010, I think it was in September when we went to Langata prison. We went there, and there were so many of them who said they were petty offenders. So many. And so they were talking about the offenses are so petty. Most of them, they were assault, others stealing very minor things, although it is still a crime, whether they are minor or not. So they were all put aside. And the magistrate promised that all those cases will be sent to probation officers for pre-bail reports.
Many problems affecting the judicial system in Kenya are largely due to blame game. In many cases, it's for laxity on the part of duty bearers, but disharmony in the way of running things.
The year 2004, when I came into contact with the concept of access to justice, before the concept of the Court Users Committee was coined. I worked in Meru. In Meru, we had an incident where prisoners died in custody because of congestion. The question was that the judiciary was working very slowly, where the judiciary was blamed for keeping people in cells, keeping people in jail, and taking so much time before they can be able to deal with these cases expeditiously. The prisons were complaining that their capacity was filled to the brim. The police were complaining that the prisons were delaying in bringing prisoners to work. And what was essentially happening is that people were blaming each other. But through the Access to Justice framework, we had a roundtable meeting to identify where the problem was and to see how we could resolve some of these problems using quick wins.
Through the court users committees, the operations in the judicial system are now getting harmonized. The available resources are pulled together to resolve the problems and thereby expediting the administration of justice.
Through a meeting that now finally brought about the Court Users Committee, it was established that through these Court Users Committees, we could be able to identify and resolve some of the problems that were being experienced in courts. By resolving them, then the common mwananchi would be able to get quicker justice. His problems or her problems will be resolved very fast, and that way we'll be able to move forward, and members of the public would now see that the judiciary is now working.
Many Kenyan prisons don't have special facilities for child offenders. As a magistrate in the Children's Court, the Honorable Anthony Mushege, the senior resident magistrate in the Children's Court, Nairobi, is often faced with the challenge to see to it that the children's rights are protected. This is indeed inspired by the commitment of the court user committees for delivery of justice to all.
Our police stations do not have places where they can hold children, but we have such facilities for children, although they are very limited. Now, once the police officers who are part of the Court Users Committee learn how to deal with these children, what their peculiar problems are, and how they can be resolved, the trail goes downwards. The Children Office in the Court Users Committee can tell us the problems they are experiencing. The lawyers who are also part of the Court Users Committees can also tell us the problems they experience, and the court will also tell them the problems they experience. That way, everybody will be aware, or at least will have the general knowledge on how to deal with the welfare of the child and do so in the best interest of that child. So through the committee, they can be able to share experiences. From these experiences, they'll be able to bring out the best practices with relation to child law.
The prison department is at the tail end of the justice system. So in the eyes of the remandees or appellants, it is seen as a cause of delays. However, the truth is that Other players influence the way the prison department works. The issue of congestion in prisons has its causal factors arising from other players in the justice system, such as the police, the judicial officers, the lawyers, and the probation staff. However, since the court user committees were started, these cases are on the decrease.
Before the paralegals came, we still used to serve the prisoners, and we still used to do something on the line that the paralegals are doing. However, we didn't have a very good training of the officers who are handling that. So it's like most of the officers who are working from documentation office were kind of learning on the job. They would go to court, see how some of these issues are handled there, how the appeals are supposed to be done and that kind of thing. So out of experience, they will end up now being able also to draft some of these things for the prisoners and even advise them. But we didn't have a good forum the way we now have with the paralegals, who, when they come now, they are working at the prison level. They are able to go inside and educate the prisoners on some of their rights, particularly how they can handle their court cases, because the criminal justice system is a strange, it's something new to the Africans. So most of the people out there, they don't know, they don't understand the justice system, how it works. They don't know how to defend themselves. So when they are exposed to the paralegals, now they are able to understand and be able to defend themselves in court in case they are not able to hire advocates.
Embu Prison, which serves most of the Mount Kenya region, has undergone dramatic improvement thanks to the work of the court user committees. The various justice system departments are now aligned and they discharge their responsibilities more efficiently, and the blame game that reigned before is now through the pressure from the various stakeholders, among them the Legal Resources Foundation. Many key constitutional mechanisms have been put in place to speed up access to justice. Several milestones have been achieved, more so the entrenchment of court user committees in the Constitution, and as a matter of practice, court user committees is now mandatory in the judiciary. It is entrenched in the Judicial Services Act 2011.